Hello everybody! Welcome to Agashi Review, where I review movies, dramas that you don't want to waste your time watching. I'll give you synopsis, shorts review along with my thoughts and opinions, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now let's go into the review. Hello everybody, Agashi here today. So today I'm going to be doing a Korean drama review, and this drama is called Doom at Your Service. I think it's a webtoon, but there's a total of 16 episodes, and I'm so excited to see Park Bo-young back. I love her acting, and like the last time Agashi we saw her was actually in Abyss, and so I was like so excited to see her back with acting and everything. So I'm gonna go over the cast synopsis in the first 2 episodes with you guys. As for our cast, we have Park Bo-young playing Tak Dong-kyung, and then Song In-gyu playing Myo-mang, and he has another name, Kim Sa-rang, and then Lee Soo-hyun playing Cha Ju-ik, Kang Tae-ho playing Lee Hyung-gu, Shin Do-hyun playing Na Ji-na, and then Da-won playing Tak Sang-kyu, which is the younger brother of Dong-kyung, and then Chung Siso playing Song Young-shin, and then Wang Hee-jin playing Kang Soo-jang, the aunt. And there's tons of people. There's like the CEO, bunch of the writers, her friends, and his people, all stuff like that. So there's tons of people, but these are the main people we kind of focus on. So as for a synopsis, Tak Do-kyung has been working hard ever since her parents passed away. Her line seems more stable after finding a job at a web novel company, working as an editor for 6 years. But then she gets diagnosed with brain cancer. She blames her unlucky life and wishes to curse everything to disappear, which intentionally calls Myo-mang, a messenger between the human and the god, and he came to grant her wish. As her last hope, she makes a contract with Myo-mang for 100 days to live how she wants, risking everything. Recap on the first 2 episodes. The drama starts us off with Do-kyung going to see her doctor, and she is diagnosed with a brain tumor and has to get a biopsy, which will take a week. She cannot do it because she doesn't have any vacation time, and so the doctor cuts straight to her that if she doesn't do it, and she will have to go through surgery, which will give her a year to live, and if she doesn't do any of the above, she has 3 to 4 months to live. She accepts that and she leaves. We learn she works at a editing novel writer company, and she's an editor there, and her neurosurgeon is actually a writer over there. He works as a writer on the side. As she leaves the doctor's office, she runs into Myo-mang, who is dressed like a doctor. She stares at him and he responds, "I know I'm handsome, but I'm busy." What a funny response. Anyways, he leaves and he waits in the emergency room as tons of patients arrive. Apparently, there was a suspect that stabbed 7 victims and he slit his throat to kill himself. The suspect does arrive. Myo-mang uses his powers to divert everybody away, leaving him and the suspect only. He goes and grabs the suspect's neck, closes up and heals up the cut, and says, "It's too early for you to die. You will rot in jail until your doom comes." So he is doomed. Myo-mang is doomed. And we see him going to the rooftop, and he meets the goddess, who is like his boss, and he learns he pretty much is like Lucifer, Green Reaper, Doom, all stuff like that to her, and the goddess is like in the hospital with the heart problem. I don't understand that part, but she calls him a butterfly that pollinates her flowers, which the flowers are the human, and he hates it and doesn't want to do it. So we move on to seeing Do-kyung returns to work, but she, as her way to work, she gets a call from her boyfriend telling her to meet her at the cafe. She goes, and it's not her boyfriend, it's her boyfriend's pregnant wife. Both the wife and Do-kyung pretty much get into a argument over there. Do-kyung is about to leave, and the wife suffers some pain, and Do-kyung ends up taking her to a hospital. At the hospital, both ladies works out their misunderstanding. Do-kyung doesn't know that the boyfriend was actually married, and she found it suspicious that for the 3 months that they've been dating, he's never available on the weekend or at nights to her. The wife did too. She's been married for him for a while now. She's pregnant, soon to be due, and for the past 3 months, she never knew why her husband became so suspicious. So basically, both women got played, and they fixed their misunderstanding between each other. Do-kyung gets back to work, and her boss is upset at her for being late, and we pretty much see that he's kind of sexist, where he's all like, this is why I don't like to hire women for my job, because they're always late, or they're always complaining that they're hurt, they're sick, and stuff like that. As he's talking to her, he's like scrolling through the internet, and he finds a video of her, and she tried that. She was involved in like adultery, and she tries to avoid it, and she gets upset because her boss kept throwing it at her that it's her, and so she gets upset and she takes the day off. Word does spread to her company that she was dating a married guy, and everybody starts to question. Everybody wants to know why, but there's the woman at her workplace is like, just leave it alone. It's none of you guys' business. Why is woman always the victim here? So as the day goes on, things gets worse for Do-kyung. A man snaps a picture of her in the subway. She chases him down, and as she's chasing him, the ground suddenly opens up and he drops down, and it's actually Mil-mang's doing, and he was kind of nearby, kind of showing some of his powers. It starts to rain. She gets poured on. She doesn't have an umbrella. On her way home, her brother calls and asks for money, and she's just not happy about it because that day is actually the death of her parents' anniversary, and they died long ago, and their guardian is their aunt who's living in Canada. She still helps them and cares for them and everything. So that's her horrible day. She gets home, and then Mil-mang, he gets home and he drinks, and Do-kyung makes a wish and on shooting stars that night and hopes for the world to end and bring doom to the world. Mil-mang hears this and he's interested in what she wished for, and he shows up at her house at 3 a.m. And with 100 days to left, he will grant her wish, and in return, she will die with no pain. She doesn't believe him at first with all the powers he showed her, that he's a real deity and stuff like that. She thinks it's because her illness, she's having hallucination. And then the next day, when she's about to cross the road, she has pains in her head. She falls in the middle of the street. Cars are driving by. A truck is about to hit her. He stops times and he tells her, take my hand now, die here now, or take my hand and die later when it's your time. She takes his hand and he reversed everything back to like it never happened. The countdown begins. Day 1, or like day 99, like D99. And after believing that he's real, he puts on a red bracelet for her around her wrist and tells her that she needs to hold his hand once a day to be charged to keep her alive. Mil-mang meets the goddess again, and now he questions, why is it him who has to do all these stuff and meeting her and everything? And the goddess tells him this vague answer, faith. She warns him not to do anything bad or he'll be punished, and he's all like, why does it matter? I'm being punished already, I don't care. So Do-kyung goes back to work, and her ex is there to cause trouble. It exposes more about her, but the pregnant wife comes to take the husband, stating he's a scumbag, he played both a woman, don't believe anything he says. Do-kyung does explain to her co-worker and everybody that she got tricked by her ex-boyfriend and he was married, and pretty much the guy played both women. Later, she ends up meeting Mil-mang again, and she asks him the question, why her, He doesn't know the answer, but he gives her faith, just like how the goddess gave it to him. She asks if she doesn't make her wish before she dies, what happens then? He tells her, I will just easily remove your tumor, put it into someone, the one you love the most at the moment. That pretty much, but as of the moment right now, it's her brother. She's upset and she slaps him, but it's like, that's at the moment right now. We'll see when it comes 100 days and she doesn't make her wish. The person she's probably going to love is Mil-mang, and he's going to take it or he's going to remove him. My guess, but yeah. Learning that she could not let her little brother take her disease, so she will make the wish and die once her 100 days come up. She has a friend who is a writer named Nanjina, and she asks her friend what would she do if she just has 100 days left to live. Jinan tells her to travel, do all the things she can, and Do-kyung's promise to her is, I will make you a successful writer before my day comes up. And we learn that Jinan uses the writer's name Lee-hyung, and it's a curse that she's not successful because there's another name, Lee-hyung-gun, who we see working at a cafe, and he's like something with water ghosts or water something causing her to not succeed, and we actually see it's played by Kang Tae-ho, so it's kind of weird between them. I guess they'll interact more as the episode goes on, but yeah. So moving on, Do-kyung goes and take pictures, getting ready for her death, and Myeong-mang shows up. He walks her home, and there's her ex at her place begging for forgiveness and asking for her back, and she drops her picture and the frame breaks and everything. And Myeong-mang comes up and tries to stop the ex, and he says that he's the boyfriend who's been living with her, you know. So she was just like, what the hell, you know. And then they're fighting, and the brother comes in and say, be like, who's the one that is, I'm going to beat up the one who's married and cheated, lied to my sister, and who is the guy living with my sister, you know. And so as the brother is chasing down the ex, she's like, she goes and picks up the broken glass and everything like that, and she cuts her finger. Myeong-mang heals the cut from her and tells her that I can't let you get hurt. Remember, that's what my contract promises to you. And as he leaves, she stops and says, let's live together, you know, like, for her not to feel pain, let's live together. So it cuts it off right there for us for episode 2, and it shows us in the preview she does live with him, and eventually this is where everything is going to start, the love, the romance, and a lot more, and obviously a lot more learning about Myeong-mang, because he has a different name. Basically, my guess is kind of like in Angel's Last Mission, Love, where L was a human and something happened and took him away and became an angel. Well, something happened to Myeong-mang and how he became Myeong-mang, you know, all these things like that. And obviously he's going to fall in love with her, where he cannot bring doom to the world, and he's going to take that disease away from her, and he's going to choose to get punished instead. And as obviously the deity is just doing this to play with him. I mean, Ajushi and I were watching this and we're thinking kind of like Lucifer and all stuff like that. We've been watching Lucifer and we've been like really into all these fantasy thingies, so we were like thinking of like Lucifer and Chloe and all these things like that. So we have all these like things in our head and all these like predictions and all sorts of things. So very excited to see how this drama is gonna turn out. I did not think it was going to be like all this out. I was just kind of like, okay, let's see how it's gonna turn out. Very excited to see Park Bo-young back. I've seen partial of Song Ye-kyung's acting here and there in the past. I'm not really into his acting as much, but I really have high hopes for him in this one. It looks really good, and I really do look forward to see what's gonna happen. But if you guys have not checked out Doom at your service, do check it out. But that's it for today's review, and I will see you guys next time.